Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Park Talk podcast. I am your host, Danny Ream. Adult recreational leagues offer opportunities for individuals to be active while enjoying some friendly competition, and there are a variety of seasonal rec leagues offered through the Naperville Park District. Joining me to talk adult spring sports leagues is Program Manager Brock Atwell and longtime participant of the district's Adult Softball League, Mark Knoll. Brock and Mark, thank you very much for joining me on the podcast.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Mark, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Let's talk about your experience with adult softball. How long have you been playing recreational softball with the Park District?
With this park district, I started in the early 2000s, like about 2001 or maybe even 2000. But I've been playing recreational softball for, 40 years.
Yeah. Did your did you kind of join with your friends? Like, was it?
No, actually, I joined the park district in Downers Grove because some friends. That was friends. But when that team disbanded in the early 2000s, I still wanted to keep playing. So I just put myself on the interest list.
Yeah.
And got signed up with the park district team. So actually, it's a great opportunity. I really appreciated getting on that list, number one. And number two, the park district itself sponsored the team.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So what spurs you and your team to get together every season? Do you still play with the individual teams?
Actually, the team has kind of had a huge shift. I've been through 3 generations of softball players. Yeah. I started out as kind of the young guy on the park district list. And then, the team kind of would evolve to the point where I was the manager of the team, and I recruited people in the Brookdale neighborhood and all the dads and, kind of to join the team. So slowly we became a Brookdale team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, kind of spurs you to want to do it every year? You said you've been doing it for a few decades.
I have. Well, to tell you the truth, I'm one of those that believes that if you stop doing something, then you can't do it anymore.
Okay, yeah.
And so I really enjoy playing softball. So now the kids I coached in Little League are the people on the team.
That's awesome.
So we have a sprinkling of the dads that are still left, 3 or 4 core older guys, not quite as old as me, but they're older guys on the team. But most of them now are the kids that we coached.
That's got to be a really cool experience.
It is.
Like thing to have.
It is. It started out with my wanting my son to play alongside my son.
Yeah.
And so my son played in the outfield with me. I was like a big thing. And then all his friends started joining. And again, these are kids I coached in Little League. So my son started recruiting players, and now it's kind of evolved. My son moved on and lives in Boston now. But some of those kids I coached are still there.
Yeah, that's so cool. So what have been some of the most memorable moments during adult softball? I mean, besides...
Oh, my God. Well, every generation, I think the second generation, when we were evolving from a park district team to our own legitimate team, we had some championship years, and so those were quite memorable. We got all the trophies and all that stuff, and every year we would kind of have a year-end celebration, and all the trophies were there and the whole thing. Now it's more about participation for some of these young guys, and they don't care as much. The older guys kind of cared. Okay, well, you didn't hit the cutoff man, and now the young guys really just want to belong to something,
right?
And they want to play, and a lot of them weren't gifted Little League players anyway, but they've kind of developed their skills now, participating in the Park District League.
Well, I think that's something that's so great about these recreational leagues is that you do have, the aspect of just getting together and socializing. Yep. And I know personally, I'm a competitive person, so I would be on that end of like, you didn't hit the cutoff, man.
Yeah, me too. And I'm still kind of coach, so when I yell at them about something, they kind of they're okay with it. The last couple of years, I've kind of done. You know how the major leaguers, when they have a home run, they put the jacket on or a spear or something like that. Well, I got one of these big, gaudy, blingy things that says MVP on it. And so after the game, a kid that didn't, get out or, made a great catch or whatever after the game. I put it around their neck, and they do wear it. These kids are more about, kind of celebrating the game itself and not so much the winning, or if we win, great. If we lose, they don't care.
Totally. It's about the social aspect.
Yeah.
It's about the, like you said, belonging to, a certain group,
Yeah.
So going to kind of talk about adult recreational leagues in general, because the Park District offers more than just adult softball. We have volleyball, basketball. I mean, there's really most sports that you can think of, the Park District offers. So I'm going to open this up to both of you, Brock and Mark. What do you think are the benefits in participating in one of these programs, both physically and socially?
Yeah, from a physical standpoint, I think Mark hit the nail on the head. The second you stop doing something, you no longer do it. And I think back to the COVID years, we had some teams that fell apart, and some of those teams haven't come back.
Right.
So I think that it's important, especially as we get older, to push yourself physically. Yes, there is the risk of an injury or something like that, but I feel like the more active you stay, those risks deteriorate by doing so. So from a physical standpoint, it kind of speaks for itself. You're out there pushing yourself. Socially, these team sports and most of our adult leagues are, in fact, all of our adult leagues are team oriented. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity to go out and hang out with friends or meet new people. It's just, it's whether you're new to town and you jump on an interest list like Mark did back in the day, or you pull together a group of friends. Just from a social aspect, it's an opportunity to get out there and spend some time with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, can you speak on that?
A little bit. My son is, and all the kids I kind of play with are kind of the Xbox generation guys, and I think they play a lot of games online. And so softball gives them a chance during the week where they can kind of like just get together and yuck it up. So there's sometimes I have no idea even what they're talking about because it's an inside joke from a game or something like that. And so I think the recreational league gives them an opportunity to kind of get together to kind of just, recap some of the things that some of their experiences online. It kind of augments it and gives them a night out, if you will.
Totally. And speaking as, maybe one of those individuals from that generation, I think that when I, am talking to friends over online versus being with them in person, it's two very different experiences, but it's still a bonding experience,
Absolutely.
Brock, having worked so closely with multiple adult recreation leagues, what is your favorite aspect of these programs?
Yeah, there's something about a summer night, being in the ballpark, lights are on, the sun's going down, the park staff has the field looking just perfect. Mm-hmm. Man, if that doesn't give you the feels, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
Those nights are just memorable. You almost stop at times, especially the older you get, and just soak that in. As Mark alluded to, there's those championship seasons, those types of things, those really good games that may go to extra innings. Those are memorable. From my perspective as a program manager, I've got to work with so many really great people.
Yeah.
And you get all types of different personalities, all types of different competitiveness. And I think that's what separates the Naperville Park District Adult Leagues from many others. Within many of our leagues, you have different divisions. So, you may have the rec division where guys are coming out for the first time ever to play softball, or pulling a team of individuals together that don't know each other, that are playing for the first time as a team, all the way up to, let's say, our A League, where these guys may be going to tournaments every weekend and are super competitive. And the way we structure it is you move up and down within the divisions from season to season based on your success or lack of success. So it pulls together not only a group of similar guys within your team, but each division has kind of a similar mentality and mindset. And so, we avoid some of the, a team that just got together playing against a tournament team, which that ends up not being fun for anyone.
Right.
So I that's an aspect of our leagues that I really enjoy, and I think our participants have come to enjoy as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned what's so great about the Naperville Park District Leagues is that there are so many people who are interested that you are able to divide it up into all those different skill levels. But also, Naperville is just such a large area that you are able to meet a lot of new people through these leagues.
Absolutely.
Which I think is one of my favorite aspects of having personally participated in a couple of these different recreational leagues. And that kind of goes into my next question. How do adult recreation leagues strengthen connections between friends and maybe even strangers that you meet during the season?
I think there's something to going to battle's not the right word, but competing and competition that, you win together, you lose together. And there's an aspect of that just creates a bond that you might not otherwise have. So you go through the struggles and a guy has a bad night and the other guys around him are picking him up, or in some cases pulling them down. But there's just a bonding aspect to competing with one another. And you realize that the guys on the other side of the field are going through the same thing. So there's that aspect as well.
Oh, absolutely. We're constantly, and we see about the same guys out there every year. So we're constantly trash talking each other when we show up. And of course, the clink of the bats when you first walk up. If you're a softball guy and you hear the clink of the bats as you're walking up the first game, you're like, oh yeah, that's it.
Here we
that's
go.
the thing. Keep coming back.
Yep.
But we do have camaraderie with, and we, on occasion there's a pickup game. There's a couple of the guys that form pickup games will come out on Sunday morning or whatever, just to kind of have a little warm up. So we do have camaraderie with some of our opponents. I've had a history with a lot of opponents. I'm a left-handed dead pull hitter, so. On a few occasions, they move everybody from the entire left side of the field and move them onto the right side just to toy with me. And of course, I get so mad I hit right into it. So, but we have a lot of camaraderie with players as we go year to year, and as you suggest, you kind of move up, right? So there have been occasions when I've been on teams where we kind of move up, and then you establish new relationships with the other people, and then you don't know. 5 years later, you're back in rec again. So.
Yep.
Now I know we've talked a lot about the team sport aspect, specifically softball, but Brock, I know that we offer, smaller group or solo programs like tennis and pickleball and those type of sports. Can you speak on, the camaraderie and, strengthening connections with individuals through, those smaller type of sports?
Yeah, I think there's a different aspect to the individual sports. You're out there on an island competing, and your success or lack of success it directly relates to your ability in that moment. So I think it is a little bit different. We also, within our pickleball leagues, from what I've seen, they do very similar to softball, get to know one another. You're competing against these people, and there are some friendships formed through that. I think for those individuals that are new to this area, there's not a better way to get to know people than to sign up for, whether it be a pickleball league where you're playing individually or with a partner, or a team sport. You're going to get to know a lot of people. Totally. And Mark's story is very similar to many others, where you sign up on an individual team, this team sticks together, and you may play the next 25 years together,
right, with
some deviation amongst the roster. But I highly encourage individuals to either put themselves on the individual list where they can call us and we'll take their name and number, and then any of the captains looking for an individual player will provide that list to them. Or we do have individual registration where we take a group of individuals and form a team out of them. So there's a couple different ways to do it. But again, I go back to the fact that if you're new to this area or just looking to meet people, there's not a better way to do that than to sign up for one of our leagues.
Yeah, I agree. Now, if there was someone that was on the fence about trying an adult rec sport for the first time, what would you say to them to encourage them?
What I would say is you are not alone. We've had many, many people that have, gone back and forth on should I do this, should I not. I've spoken to many spouses that signed their spouse up for a league without them knowing it. And, they've expressed to me that it's going to be a tough conversation when they let their spouse know that they're participating in this league. And more often than not, the call at the end of the season is, I'm so glad I did this, or I'm so glad my husband or wife signed me up because this was a blast. So if you're sitting on the fence, give it a shot. I don't think you'll be disappointed by pulling the trigger on that.
Totally. Mark, any thoughts?
Well, actually, my advice for somebody on the fence is to start slow. There's a walking track at Fort Hill. Go to Fort Hill and walk the track. I do that every morning, and I look down, I see all the pickleball people out there. They're having a good old time. I see the basketball leagues down there. As a men's basketball league down there, they're competing. They're intense, but you can hear them. You can kind of hear them trash talk and kind of have a good old time while they're down there playing. And if you played ball, there's nothing better than putting yourself on the interest list and starting out with a Park District team. I did. Don't regret it.
That's awesome.
To Mark's point, if you sign up as an individual, those teams that we're forming, we're typically putting them in a rec league or a C league. We're not throwing them in the top division.
Right.
And you'll have a mix on that team of some guys or girls that have played for a long time that may be a little bit more competitive than others, and those that are just trying it out. It works. We've seen that. I mean, the softball league goes back to June of 1975. So we're sitting at 51 years we've done this. There is a long track record of success with forming teams and putting individuals together. So I really would encourage you, if you're struggling or you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Give me a call. We can talk through it. It's a conversation I've had many times, and I welcome those conversations. Yeah,
it's a good way to just kind of dip your toe into the world of adult recreational sports.
Yep. Absolutely.
Hearing the firsthand experience from individuals involved in our adult recreation programs conveys the immense enjoyment of those programs that they provide to participants. So like we've kind of talked about, if any of our listeners are interested in trying one of the leagues themselves, whether you're new to the sport or a seasoned player, adult recreation programs are a fun way to stay active and be competitive with friends. Brock and Mark, once again, thank you very much for joining me on the Park Talk podcast.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Of course. If you're looking for more content, you can find all our podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or at napervilleparks.org/podcast. And full-length video episodes are available on the Naperville Park District YouTube page. As always, be sure to stay up to date on everything going on with the Naperville Park District by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, or by visiting our website at napervilleparks.org.